Right, I think we're live. Always nervous with these things, but I think we're good. Are we good? Hello, everybody. Right, we are indeed live. How is everybody doing? It's been a while since we've done one of these. We are back. Europa League football is back. Sing it with me. Whoa, whoa. The best European anthem there is out there. We can talk about Roma. We can talk about what I would do in terms of team selection for tonight. We're going to talk about Roma and the struggles that they are having. Volume could be a bit higher. Let me just sort out a bit of bumping going on. Is that better? Should be better. Let me just turn myself up a little bit. I hope you guys are all well. Who can I see in the chat here? Ludwig, Yogi Bear, RN, Tom Flack. Some new names here, I feel like. Some new subscribers. How are we all doing? Who is going to the game tonight? Please do let me know in the comments. Get Espen Bardson in there. Ego said, good luck because I'm a Galatasaray fan. Perfect. Okay, we're good to go. Right. So, this is probably the team that I would go with for tonight's game. It's an interesting one because Roma really haven't been in great form, and we'll kind of come on and talk about that. Let's talk about that now. So, Roma, I mean, there are going to be people in the chat. There are going to be people, all over social media at the game tonight worrying about good old Dr. Tottenham, right? Because that's what we do. We worry. We feel like we're going to give teams their first win in a long time. And let me tell you now, Roma are kind of primed for it. But let's get away from that, right? Because we are a good side, okay? I know we're inconsistent, but we are a good side. And it's not going to happen tonight. I'm telling you that now. Roma have been a bit of a basket case over the last however long, really. Last year or so. 12th in Serie A at the moment. They haven't won an away game in 8 months. That was in Udinese. So they've played, I think, 7 games away in Serie A so far this season and haven't won a single one. Their last win and only win in England, in Europe, was 14 years ago. They played 21 games away against Premier League teams. They've won once, drawn 8 and lost 12. They've changed manager 3 times since the start of the season. Obviously, De Rossi was there. De Rossi went. I can't remember who came in between now and Ranieri, but Ranieri is here, the Tinker Man, the man that stopped Tottenham winning the league when he was in charge of Leicester. And they've been really porous. They've let in more goals than they've scored in Serie A. Ranieri's come in. He's only had 1 game in charge so far, and that was against Napoli away. And that is the team there. That is kind of the team that I've put forward for them here. Obviously, we don't really know who's going to start for Roma tonight. Paulo Dybala is a player that could be coming into the frame and could finally be getting his appearance at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But this is the lineup that they went with, and it took... I didn't watch the game, but from people that did, from people that I know that did, apparently it took Napoli quite a while to break them down and get that opening goal. I think they scored in the 54th minute through Lukaku. But other than that, Roma were more defensively solid. And you think about the quality that they've got, and you think about how they've kind of been blowing teams away under Conte so far this season. 20 goals scored, 9 goals conceded. They've got 29 points from 13 games. And they've lost 1 in their last 5, and that was at home to Atalanta. So, they are a team that are flying, and they kind of struggled to get that first goal. It took them a while to break them down. So Roma also have only 12 outfield players available, apparently. I'm not sure I saw that. Oh, are you talking about on my on the board? Oh, they do. Sorry, I don't know how that number 12 snuck in there. Ignore that. Greetings from Oz, latest. How you doing, mate? Matthew Sapola, happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, if anybody is watching in America, Proby, Matt, how you guys doing? Happy Thanksgiving. Roma are in a bit of disarray, let's say. If you look at the form, they have won just once in the last 5 games. In the Europa League, things haven't exactly been great for them either. Last time out, they drew 1-1 at Union St. Gilles. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. They are currently 20th in the table. They've won 1 out of their 4 games, and that win, I believe, came against... I actually Can't remember. Let me have a quick look. That win in the Europa League came against Dynamo Kiev. 1-0. So they've been unconvincing in both Serie A and in Europe. They are really kind of underperforming, but if anybody can help you out with a little victory when you need it, it is obviously good old Spurs. But look, I don't see that happening tonight. Look, obviously Ranieri, there is going to be a new manager bounce. Like I said, they have had their first game in charge. There is kind of quality in this team. Dovbyk is a signing that I liked. I wasn't that convinced about him during the Euros, to be honest, when playing for Ukraine. But he has scored, I think, maybe 4 goals so far this season for Roma. 4 goals and an assist in Serie A. Paulo Dybala is obviously a player that we need to watch out for, and I think we'll be watching very closely. He broke Spurs' hearts at Wembley a few years ago. He's only got 2 goals so far in Serie A in 6 starts, no assists. Last season, I think he was great for them. 16 goals in 39 games last season, 18 goals in 38 the year before. So he's, obviously he's getting older. How old is he now? He's 31. He broke our hearts at Wembley, and he broke our hearts when he didn't sign for us. Yeah. But he might play. He might well come in, given he didn't start the weekend. Mats Hummels is also at Roma, which is something that maybe people didn't really know. Angelino is the fullback that used to be at City. Evan Ndicka is a player that Spurs were linked with quite heavily, actually, when he was at Frankfurt, I believe. So, yeah, some familiar names. Mancini, the Italian centre-back as well. And El Shaarawy. Who remembers El Shaarawy on FIFA 12, for AC Milan? Anyway, this is how I'd set Spurs up tonight. Obviously, with the injuries that we've got, there isn't that much room for rotation necessarily. Certainly not in the forward areas. When you look at Dom Solanke has no available competition at the moment. Richarlison and Lancashire both out. Lancashire suspended, obviously. Richie injured, not back to the new year. We have got a bit of an injury update from Ange. Obviously, let's start with Guillermo Vicario. He said it's going to be months, not weeks. I think that's something we all know by now. He said we thought 60 minutes with a sore ankle. We thought 60 minutes with a sore ankle, but it is testament to him as a person. He's tough as nails. The fact he played at that level for 60 minutes with a fractured ankle, the shock of it would process and miss him for a while. There is a video, guys, on the channel that I uploaded a couple of days ago talking about how the Spurs replace Guillermo Vicario. So we're not going to get into it too much in this video, although we are going to talk about the comments that Ange Postecoglou made about January. But if you want my kind of thoughts on it, go and give that video a watch. And go and subscribe, by the way, guys, as well, because you can see there I'm on 7... Oh, what have I done? I'm going to change the edit in the channel there for you. As you can see, I am on 7.2k subscribers, and I put out a little tweet the other day. I've got some goals for the end of 2024, which I'd love you guys to help me with. I want to get to 10,000 subs on YouTube. You can see we're like 2.8k away. That is doable in a month and a bit. Spurs have got a lot of games in December, so there'll be a lot of content. So if you aren't already, please make sure you do subscribe. Also, TikTok on my main account, I want to get to 50k. You can see their little video about Arsenal. I have to give them some credit, annoyingly, because they were quite good the other night. Through gritted teeth, though. Don't worry about that. Not like some content creators. And my Spurs account as well. So I want to get to 50k on the main account, and I want to get to 20k on the Spurs kind of focus account. As you can see, there's some Liverpool videos there, but when it's a Champions League football, and I have to talk about what's going on. And made a lot of Spurs content yesterday. Don't know why I'm justifying it to you guys. Really doesn't matter. But 20k on the second account, 50k on the main account, 10k on YouTube. We're getting there, right? We're about 7.8k away on the main, 3.8k on the second, and 2.8k on the YouTube. Also, Daring and Doing Spurs podcast. We are on 792 subscribers. Me and Will. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs before the end of the year as well. We will hopefully get there. Latest pod is out. Man City hate us. Go and give that a watch. So do subscribe if you don't listen to the pod, and just help us get to 1,000, which would be lovely, absolutely lovely. And go and drop me a follow on Twitter as well. And I'm on Blue Sky actually as well. If you guys are over there, you'll be able to find me. I think it's just the same app. Anyway, how do we get here? So, yeah. Obviously, Vicario, the rest of the team news. Ange Postecoglou has told us that Christian Romero remains sidelined for our UEFA Europa League Matchday 5 clash against Roma at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this Thursday. The Argentina international and vice skipper has missed 2 of our last 3 matches after picking up an ankle issue against Aston Villa on the 3rd of November, including our memorable 4-0 victory against Man City on Saturday. That was very memorable, and if you guys do still want to go and watch my breakdown on that game, please do go and watch that. Mikey Moore is still out as well. I saw something yesterday that Mikey Moore apparently is going to need about 3 or 4 weeks to recover from the virus that he got, which is obviously a shame because, again, you think about how he lit up the Europa League stage last time out against Alkmaar, and I think he would have probably played tonight or definitely been on the bench. So, yeah, he's been laid low by a virus. Not really any more details on what it is, which is a shame. And hopefully just recovers soon. While Mickey van der Ven is still working his way back from a hamstring injury suffered in our Carabao Cup win against Man City. On Romero, he said, Kuti is getting better. He's a lot closer. We're hoping he'll be out there training with the group with a bit of luck by the back end of this week. Mike is the other one. We're still taking it slowly with him. Obviously, so young. It's probably just a couple of weeks before he'll be ready to get back properly into it. Mickey's on course, working hard, training. It's day-to-day with him. We have to make sure he ticks off all the boxes before he gets integrated into the squad, which is obviously good to hear that he is on course. And obviously Wilson Odobert had surgery recently. Will Charlison is still injured, and Will Lancashire is suspended. So this is kind of the team that I've come to. Not really many surprises here. Ruben, thanks for checking in, mate. How are you doing, Ben? Have you recovered from the flu/cold? At one point, I thought I was laid down with the same virus as what Mikey Moore had, but I'm over it now. Feeling better, mate. Thanks very much for asking. But yeah, this is the team. Fraser Forster in goal. Fraser Forster, what's he got? Big hands like a frying pan, big man. He will be in there, I think. You guys please let me know in the chat. I actually might do a poll here. I think we like a poll, don't we? I also realised I said big hands, not big man. Big man, what's he got? Big hands like a frying pan, big man. Who should start in goal tonight who should start in goal tonight for Spurs? And I'm going to leave you a little poll here because yesterday in training, I'm pretty sure Brandon Austin, Alfie Whiteman, Luca Gunter, and obviously Big Phrase were all out training yesterday. I think Gunter's just come back from an injury, if I'm right. Alfie Whiteman. I'm going to put a little poll in the chat here. You guys let me know. I've gone with Fraser Forster because I think you have to trust him, really. Look, he is your backup goalkeeper. Brandon Austin and Alfie Whiteman, which is something that I said in that Vicario video that I made on the channel the other day, is that between them, they haven't played a single minute of senior football for Spurs. I think he will go with Fraser Forster, and I think Fraser Forster will be the goalkeeper until January. And let's talk about that now before we come on to the rest of the team. So Fabrizio Romano kind of doing his classic here, just sort of baiting Spurs fans into engagement by completely misreporting the quote from Big Ange. He said, "We will not sign a new goalkeeper in January. We trust Fraser Forster. Vicario will be out for months, but our plans don't change," which is not what he said. It's just not what Ange Postecoglou said. So he said he ruled out he ruled out signing a free agent goalkeeper. He said, "We've got 4 goalkeepers. Fraser I've known for a long time. He's such a strong character in the group and always ready to play." There were more quotes on that, I believe. I think maybe from Nizar potentially. He basically said that's not going to happen. Where was it? I can't find the actual quote. But he said he doesn't change our plans for January. Is what he also added to that. So, and there have been rumours, like I said in that Vicario video, that Spurs were looking at potentially signing a goalkeeper in January or the summer anyway. So maybe that has definitely been brought forward to Jan, and they will go out and sign someone. Again, a free agent won't be coming in. I don't really have too many problems with that. Keylor Navas was the only real suitable option, and I don't know. I don't really think there's any need to go out and rush and pay Keylor Navas a load of wages to the end of the season, to be honest. But yeah, so I think it will be Forster. Obviously, look, with Fraser, you worry about his ability to play out from the back. But one thing that Ange said, I saw this quote just before I was coming on here. I wonder if you guys can hear that. Can you, let me just, I'll turn this up. I'm just going to play this quote, or this interview clip with Ange from the press conference talking about goalkeepers playing out from the back. Because it was kind of off the back of, I don't know if anybody's seen this Joe Hart clip where he was talking about Ange and kind of turning him into a ball-playing goalkeeper. Go and watch that if you want to. There's a lot of interesting stuff in there. But this is what he said in the press conference yesterday. I'm just going to mute my mic and then play through Twitter, hopefully.
I think there is a misconception around that. I do want to play out from the back, but I don't need my goalkeepers to be Maldini or Platini. That, in fact, the simpler they keep it, the better for me. I keep saying to the players, stop passing to the goalkeepers. They've got the gloves on. They're the goalkeepers. You're the player. So the whole thing is about setting it up so we give really simple solutions to our goalkeepers. And it's not about their technical ability, because if you look at the way we play out from the back, and Joe's a great example of that when he came to Celtic, is it's about them executing really simple passes that they do every day. They're actually quite good at it, goalkeepers, all goalkeepers. It's more about mindset. It's more about them not thinking that what they're doing is risky, because that's what it comes down to. It's not a skill. It's like I said, I'm not asking them to ping 50-yard, but in fact, it's harder. Like when keepers go long, it's actually a harder skill, even for normal footballers. So I'm asking them to do short passes. I think there is a misconception around that.
There we go. Yeah, so I found that quite interesting, really, because obviously the big thing that's kind of been spoken about with Forster is obviously we are worried about him with the ball at his feet. But I do think that if you are to and Radu Dragusin was excellent the other night against Man City, absolutely brilliant, and he will definitely play tonight. You can see the rest of the team that I've got there, and we'll come on and talk about the rest of that shortly. But when Romero kind of comes back into the side, you do that. I think that worry lessens for me because he's so good at breaking the lines. Vicario doesn't really necessarily break lines as a goalkeeper. He's just comfortable in those situations where if the centre back is going back to him, he can play this sort of little pass here. If I just get a ball out, where's that? If he's got the ball at his feet, say if he got the centre backs kind of split. Oh, my mouse keeps dying. Sorry about this. I need to get some new batteries. Dragusin and Davis kind of split. The six comes into here. If the teams, imagine Roma are up the field pressing, for example. Vicario is just kind of very good at the weight of passes into these kind of players and keeping it simple and getting it off quickly. You know, he's not always breaking. Say, I don't know. Let's bring the Roma players into kind of a pressing situation. Actually, let's make a new tab, just so I don't have to go back and change it. If I just move these guys back here, bear with. Ben's going to say let's get rid of the ball. Right. So in this situation, right, say if Dovbyk, Pellegrini is right up on, say if this doesn't have to be Roma, by the way, necessarily. It can be any team that Spurs are playing, and I think we will face teams that will definitely press us higher and harder than Roma will, for sure. But say Fulham at the weekend, and again, teams might be more inclined to press Spurs now because they've got Fraser Forster in goal. Just get the two centre halves on Dom, Angelino there, Bergvall kind of in this sort of space here. Winger push right up onto him. Okay, so. Let's just move this about. So, say it's a pressing situation, you very kind of rarely see. It's not like Vicario is playing these Hollywood passes, breaking the lines, risky passes into the 10s or the 8s, and we just sort of cut through teams. Vicario is just very good at kind of keeping it simple in these areas. These little passes, perfect kind of weight on the pass for Bentancur to turn, or for Bentancur to kind of find this little combination back in here to Davis, and then we can sort of play, for example. It's not, like Ange says, it's not like you're asking him to do Hollywood stuff or breaking lines all the time. You kind of just want him to keep it as simple as possible. And I think Fraser Forster will be able to do that. And I do think he'll be able to do that better when Romero is back in the team, because Romero, you do lose that ability to break these lines and get out quickly without Romero. He's just, incredibly comfortable in those kind of situations. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Yogi Bear, that long-form Joe Hart interview is great. It really was good. Fab rush into a story to farm interaction. What's new? You're absolutely right, Jim. Does Roma play a low block? They will play I was kind of just using Roma pressing high as an example of what teams might do to us with Forster. And teams will press us anyway because they know we like to play out. But they will play. Yeah, they do. They have been playing. Well, they've only played one game under Ranieri, and they did play a low block against Napoli. Yeah. You are constantly sick. Take care of yourself. Sleep well. You have a very good technical. Oh, cheers, mate. Forster isn't bad normally, but he is ultra awful when playing out from the back. I don't. Yeah, I mean, he worries me more than Vicario. Obviously, I don't really worry about Vicario, but when teams are, all Ange is asking of his goalkeepers is just to be able to play these simple passes in here. He's not asking them necessarily to break lines. One thing I want to see more, and one thing we actually might see more now with Forster in goal, is that when teams maybe do push up onto us, Solanke to kind of drop that little bit deeper, and Forster, he might be a little bit more comfortable going long, and you can kind of play into Solanke, drag these defenders out onto him, and then he can sort of play off, and then Spurs can do their excellent counter-attacking football stuff that we've been doing so far this season, because we are excellent on the transition. I beg Werner to cook tonight, says Stephen. Mate, me too. I actually think Werner, look, obviously got another assist at the weekend, bit of confidence. I think he'll do okay. I think Werner will start. Josh, big up. Travis, how you doing, mate? How you doing? Right, let's talk about, so that's about Forster anyway, enough of that. Bentancur, I think, will come back into the side because obviously he's not banned for the Europa League games. I think Gray will be in at right back. I am worried about Destiny Udogie. I know he went down at the end of the City game. Apparently he's absolutely fine, but obviously without a proper... Well, without Jed Spence in the Europa League squad, we can't really rest Destiny Udogie unless Gray plays out there and Porro plays at right back tonight, which is an option. And I would probably be in favour of resting Destiny Udogie. But I think he probably will play. Obviously, we need to manage him, man. We need to sign a left back or a left-sided centre-half that can kind of be a hybrid and play at left back as well. But I think he probably will play. I think it'll be Bergvall in midfield. I think it'll be Maddison in midfield. I would definitely play Maddison tonight. Again, I think he probably will play at the weekend against Fulham. But I think, especially, I mean, he was excellent on Saturday. Absolutely excellent. So good at kind of dropping into these little pockets and helping us build out under pressure. Tonight, I think he's going to have more freedom to be that 10 and be more on the front foot and kind of knit everything together. I thought he was excellent in that Alkmaar game as well, just being kind of one of the more senior pros on the pitch and just really knitting everything together. He'll be the captain tonight if he does play as well. I would definitely play Maddison. I'll play Bergvall alongside him. I think Bergvall needs those games. I'll play Johnson on the right and I'll play Werner on the left. Again, Johnson fresh after, what was it, half an hour on Saturday. Hopefully he can get another goal tonight. Obviously, it's a game that more suits Kulu on the left, or Decky on the left, on the right. If Roma are going to sit in deeper, and he might do that. He might go with Decky on the right again, but I'd imagine he'll start with Brennan Johnson again. The sort of low block that Roma are probably going to play. There isn't going to be that much space for Johnson in behind, but hopefully we can exploit them in transitional situations, and then we can get the best out of Brennan that way, and hopefully score an early goal, and the game opens up a little bit more. And yeah, I think Dom, like we said earlier in the stream, look, there isn't really an alternative for Dom Solanke at the moment, unfortunately. So that's my team. You guys let me know. 69% of the poll said Fraser Forster in goal tonight. I can't actually see the rest of the results. 6% of people voted for Luka Gunter, Brandon Austin 18%, Alfie Whiteman 6%. Reno says, I'm worried about Maddison and Bergvall together in midfield, not enough power or strength. Hopefully Bergvall shows his talent. I think in a game where we're going to be able to dominate the ball more, I think Bergvall will come into it rather than the Galatasaray game. Why doesn't Ange try Decky as a false 9? So Solanke can rest. That might not be a bad shout, but again, you've also got to think about Decky himself as well and resting him for sure. Lego Lisa says, relax, guys. We'll see 4-1 Tottenham. Hopefully, mate. And then, if we win tonight, look, we're in a very good position in the Europa League. Win 4 wins out of 5. 7th, we are in that top 8 at the moment. We've only lost one game, which is obviously Galatasaray. Rangers up next after this. Then it's Elfsborg and Hoffenheim. We shall see. Obviously, Dom's been in good form in the Europa League, as you can see here, 2 goals and 1 assist. And like I said, I think he will play tonight. That's probably where I'm going to leave it, guys. I've got some content to film for TikTok, some videos to go out before the game tonight. So make sure to get involved and go and follow that and everything, all the other good stuff that we spoke about earlier. Darren doing to 1,000 subs, my channel to 10,000 subs, TikTok to 50k, TikTok second account to 20k before the end of the year would be absolutely lovely. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments on the team selection and what you might do. There will be a match breakdown tomorrow, as always, after the game. Probably about tomorrow lunchtime or hopefully maybe tomorrow morning. Obviously, we'll just have to work on it when I get back from the game tonight. If anybody is going to the game tonight and you see me, come say hello. I love meeting you guys. It's really sick, to be honest. And I love it. And yeah, thanks for all the support, as always. Absolutely buzzing with it and couldn't do it without you guys. So, let me know your thoughts and I will see you tomorrow back on the channel. Might get a little TikTok live in later as well before I go, but I'm probably not going to because I'm going to go to the gym after this and do some work. So, Have a good rest of your afternoon. Get down there early tonight as well. Actually, let's finish on that. I mean, people have probably clicked off by now because I've just waffled for so long. But get down early tonight because the singing section is in full force tonight. Lower South, Return of the Shelf, done some great work, absolutely great work. Coach and Horses early doors. Meet by the entrance 253, 7 o'clock sharp to make some noise and get in your seats by 10 to 8 and really make a racket tonight if you are in that South stand. Make it a wall of noise that it needs to be. Make it feel like a proper European Cup tie. I will be there. Hope to see you guys there as well. I'm back on the channel tomorrow to break down hopefully Spurs' 4th win out of 5 in the Europa League. Up the Spurs. Nice one. Make sure to like and subscribe. Peace.